I really love this question as an introspective question. Are relationships safe for me? Because you know how it's talked about by many different mentors and teachers, talk about the relationship we have with another, whether it's somebody like an intimate relationship or a relationship of family member or acquaintance or anything of that nature, that we are reflections of one another. And so if I am in, and I'm putting my fingers in the air with quotations, if I'm in relationship, regardless of what that relationship is, if I'm in that kind of relationship or relationshipping dynamic, and yet something feels unnerving to me, or something feels off, or I feel a little anxious, or...
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, listeners. Hi, Moira.
Hello, my dear Deb. Hi, listeners.
Welcome to our deliciously motivated mindset conversation with Debz. That would be me. And Moira, that would be
me.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one today.
Absolutely. Well, let's face it. If it was not, then we wouldn't be having the conversation.
No, we do actually get excited. We talk and then we go, what topic are we talking about? We go, oh, this is it. And I'll go, oh, my body feels like this. Oh, this feels heavy. Oh, wonder what angle we're going to go on as we wander down our paths. But anyway, we know it's a damn goodie today.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what the title is because they can see it before we start. But welcome. If you've listened to us before, that's fabulous. If you haven't, oh, that's so sad.
We missed you.
Today you're in with a grin. So grab your pen and paper, biro and paper, and we're gonna hit the floor running very, very shortly. But if you've you'll know that what we do is, one of the things we do is rate ourselves, and we scale ourselves on a 0 to 10 of where we are emotionally. And it's a great tool just to check in with tool. Yeah, just to check in where you are. Now, there's no right or wrong in this, but our aim is to have you more away from the higher numbers to the lower numbers. So our intention is to get you closer to the 0, away from the 10, which is the number between 9 and 11. So number 10 is when you are frazzled, chaotic,
stuck, discombobulated. Words.
Yeah, discombobulated. Yeah, I can't even say it. But and in a space where you just sometimes can't, they say, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, there is no damn light. I can't see any light. It's just dark. I can't even see the light switch to turn. No. That's a 10.
Yes.
And a 5 is not a 10. And a 0 is where we're aimed to put you. And a 0 is just present, poised. Even just when I say 0, a naught. Did you say 0 or did you say naught?
I say 0, but I know 0. Not. They say not in Britain, don't they?
Yeah, naught. Sounds odd. Anyway, so we're going to check in with where we are. When we do a halftime check-in, just see where your emotions are at, what number you'd be, and at the very end. And it's just, if you get yourself into the habit of doing this, it's just a great way to check in throughout your day, and it gives you a reason to go, oh, no wonder I'm feeling I'm a 5. When I woke up this morning, I had no sleep, so I'm a 10. Wow, that was quick. I just needed a quick
Catnap.
snuggle with my partner or whatever. Yeah, our relationship's safe for me, whatever. And it's taken me to that point.
Yeah.
So in saying all that, Moira.
Oh, yes. Now I have to say where am I? Where am I?
Where
well,
are you?
This one, I'm doing one of these dances between, am I a 2 or am I 3? So I'm actually a 2.5.
Oh, same.
Oh, really?
I'm going, am I a 2 or am I a 3? Okay, I'll let you talk, but yeah.
Well, no, all I was saying is that whenever that my head plays that game of is it this or this, then I put myself right in the middle, because there's obviously something.
I'm exactly the same. I'm a 2.5 because I'm like, am I a 2 or am I a 3? And then I'm like, does it really matter if you're a 2 or a 3? I'm like, yes, it does. And so that's my internal thought. Whereas Moira goes, am I a 2 or a 3? Oh, I'm a 2.5. Deborah goes, does it really matter? Yes, it does matter.
But I get it
so
right. Oh, maybe
we are
it's
both
2.75.
Yeah. So that is where we are. And our topic today is, are relationships safe for me?
This is a really good conversation about to unfold.
Even just the word relationships, like what does that mean? Safe. And for me, what about for the other person? So there's so much just with that, because if you've listened before, I do unpack the titles.
It's a good thing to do. The importance of words is can't be understated, right?
So Moira, you can kick it off. Are relationships safe for me? How would you start this podcast today?
Well, I really love this question as an introspective question. Are relationships safe for me? Because you know how it's talked about by many different mentors and teachers, talk about the relationship we have with another, whether it's somebody like an intimate relationship or a relationship of family member or acquaintance or anything of that nature, that we are reflections of one another. And so if I am in, and I'm putting my fingers in the air with quotations, if I'm in relationship, regardless of what that relationship is, if I'm in that kind of relationship or relationshipping dynamic, and yet something feels unnerving to me, or something feels off, or I feel a little anxious, or feel guilty or shameful or weighted down in some way, whether that's coming, yes, there you go, coming up into a 10, or just wondering like, oh, I feel a little nervous in this space, then I'm not going to say that it's anything to really do with that other person, but I know that I need to take a step back and do some introspection, find out what's going on, what got triggered. Do I need to just go and meditate or go for a walk by myself or get clear on what is that? Right? Does that make sense, Deb?
Yeah, it does. And for me, I mean, I trust my body, and my body reacts more than my mind often to wake me up and go, hey, so if something happens, my body will go, yeah, but that doesn't happen to a lot of people. Well, it does, but a lot of people don't see the signs, I'm going to say.
Or they disassociate from them and not realize that they are signs. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So my body will go, oh, this is safe. This is not. It just tells me. And look, don't think I respond to my body and I make those decisions, because I still make the other decisions, because I override my body.
Our head could still override that, knowing that, you can feel that. Even in my example that I was saying, if I'm feeling, I'm a bit nervous, or I'm a bit
you can overanalyze.
Yeah.
You can go, what does this mean? Maybe it means I've had something to eat earlier, or maybe this has happened from 3 days ago, instead of just going, okay, here, this is actually your big wake up. Here's your alertness. See it or don't see it. I think I would like to say, with our relationship safe for me, every decision we make has a cause and effect.
Yes,
we know that. And if you make a decision and I'm going to say the wrong decision, it's actually not the wrong decision. there's a value to you of that decision, but I'm going to say that word wrong is just such a word, but it's not a wrong decision. So all relationships can be safe, yes, but you can pick and choose your own boundaries of what you're going to allow into your world and what you're not going to allow into your world.
Absolutely, because this brings into play one of the things that clients that have worked with me have heard me say this so many times before, is that we educate other people how to treat us. And so if you're in a relationship and you feel like you're being disrespected to or spoken to in a derogatory way or not understood or not seen, then these are like the taps, right? From the universe, or from kind of, you created it, by the way. You
Whatever
created
you want to call it.
Opportunity. Yeah. You created this opportunity to go, wait. If I have educated this person to treat me this way, or what is it I did? What is it I did or said that allowed that person to think that they could speak disrespectfully to me, or tromp all over my boundaries, or whatever that is. And so it's a gift. So relationships are still safe for you, but it's up to you to go, you're always the boss of you.
Yeah. Just going back to you, yes, going back to just what you were just saying before, if you just go, they've treated me badly, or they've done this and I've allowed that, don't put yourself to that
shame.
No, don't put yourself to that scale of 10 sitting in the corner. Just go, okay, I can see what's happened. Wow, that's interesting how I've allowed that, or how that's happened, or like just go, oh, okay. So it's more an acknowledgement, an awareness, an awakener.
And forgiving yourself because you were doing the best you could at that time. And that's all that we all are doing. Right.
Well, it does depend. Your decisions are dependent on your, as you call them, your PIMS.
Yeah.
Which is your
physical. This is the 4 pillars of you. So it's your physical awareness, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual. And you do need to be checking in with every one of those 4. How do you feel physically in this relationship? How do you feel emotionally? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel spiritually?
Yeah, I know. That's exactly it.
So yeah, back to that thing about the PEMS. That's what I like to think of just checking in. How does, when you're talking about a relationship, even if you're feeling, yes, absolutely, this is a wonderful relationship, and it's ticking all my boxes on the physical pillar, the emotional, mental, and spiritual, it's still really useful to keep coming back to that, similar to what we do with our rating ourselves from 0 to 10.
I'm nodding my head.
Yeah, nodding her head. But because, sometimes in a relationship that feels great, it covers everything that you need and want, and the person's treating you with respect. But sometimes inadvertently, something they say or do can actually trigger something that's like a bad memory of some other time that you were disrespected, and so that's why these assessment tools and these things of checking in and asking yourself, how do I feel? Do I feel calm, at ease, poised, or do I feel a little bit frenetic or frantic? And it's not right or wrong. None of this is right or wrong. It's just being willing to show up, stay present, and see what's here in this present moment. Right?
Yeah, and I think the relationships, our relationship, you're right. Our relationship, safe for me, goes down to our self-worth.
Yes.
And it is truly, oh no, I'm just gonna do the old standard, my boyfriend cheated on me. My boyfriend cheated on me. I remember him doing that when we first got together, and then he did it 3 years later and I forgave him, and then we did it another 5 years later, and then I was and you hear the whole story. It's not that relationships are not safe for you, it's around what your expectations are. And if you're going to carry through that emotion month by month, those stories, and you're going to carry that through, it's just going to, those stories, I'm going to say stories, label them stories, Those stories are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in your mind until you learn to, I'm going to use the word heal them.
Yeah.
That's HEAL, until you learn to heal them and just have that love for that situation, because those, I believe all relationships are safe for you, that you can make the decisions to stay, go, or just park, or not even have to make a decision right here. And that's even if you're in a horrific, and I'm going to say horrific relationship, is it safe for you until you can actually get your own worth to make that next step to walk away or get help or whatever it is. There's a reason why you're in there.
Yes.
So that's the bigger bubble behind everything, is let's work out what's really going on.
But it goes back to that thing what I said earlier. I actually said this earlier in our conversation today with this, is that that whole piece around how do I feel about myself, right? Because if I feel, and let's face it, I've been in an abusive relationship. That's part of my story. And I think that sometimes we stay in them. Well, we stay in them long enough until we realize, another thing that my favorite sayings is, you are the boss of you. I'm the boss of me. And so I stayed in situations as long as it took for me to be able to say, this isn't working for me. It's not safe for me to be here. And so therefore I need to do something different. I can't wait to be saved or to be rescued. I have to do it, right?
How many times have you heard clients come to you, or even just in general conversation, oh, I stayed too long in that relationship, or I stayed too long in that job, or I stayed there, I shouldn't have stayed there, you know, I want to stay here until the kids are old enough to leave. I want to stay, you know, it's like, no, like it. So yes, okay, I stayed too long in the relationship. Okay, you can use that story, I stayed too long in the relationship. But you actually stayed until you felt it was safe to leave, really.
Yes.
Like our relationship safe for me. You stayed there until it was safe for your mindset, your body. I've got all my ducks in a row. You know, like I read some of the online forums and people go, I'm in this relationship and my husband's doing this or my wife's doing this or whatever. And the advice people get is just get all your ducks in a row. Make sure your finances are okay. Make sure that, you know, you've got the next place to go to. Make sure you've got the people around until you're ready.
Structure.
The support structure. That's exactly it. Because sometimes you go, right, this is not a safe place for me. I'm out. Oh, where do I go?
Yeah.
And then most of the time people go back because they haven't got that. The structure in place. They haven't got that structure, and they go, oh, I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to take my children. I'm going to live in the car. I'm going to do this. Like, just get yourself into that space that it's safe for you to go when you're ready. And there's no right or wrong. And yes, you may have stayed in a relationship. Like, so even we're talking about intimate relationship, but even in a business, you know, you're working for someone. That's another one as well. I'm working for someone and it's not working for me. And how long do I need to stay there? But I'm getting money and it's keeping the family happy or whatever it is. You know, until you're ready to do it, then that's actually a safe space, because you're building your structure foundation until you can emotionally and physically move.
Something in here that I'd like to circle back to what you were saying about when people say, oh, I stayed in it too long, or I should have got out before. I get so sad. It's so sad when I just go, oh, yeah. Well, I do, because that to me is coming from an undercurrent of shame. You're shaming yourself because you're saying,
the last thing you need to be dealing with when you're
absolutely. It's like, no, just own it. Own it.
Yeah, you've got a textbook of lessons already.
Yeah.
Okay, you saw the lesson right from the very start of the job or the intimate relationship. There was a flag, there was a lesson, there was something, and you went, oh, this is my thing. That's okay. You can have a million of those, but it's down to the point that you go, now's the time. Don't let all that.
You know, the other thing that I'm just thinking into too, that I know some people, and I've watched some people do this, I'd just be very careful about that word lesson. And I got my fingers in the air quotations. Because it's like, find the gift. What's the gift? gift, because sometimes people go, oh, well, that was a hard lesson, but there's still a gift. So it's what can you do to acknowledge there's the gift? And ultimately it does give us learning and positivity and experience, right?
Yeah, I try and word it in an experience. What was the experience in here? And then you can move to gift.
Yeah.
Because sometimes for me, I mean, I work on gratitude. Well, we both do.
Yes,
but sometimes you can go, what's the gratitude in that?
Oh, no, not yet. You have to work into that one slowly and gently.
It's got to mold into that. Yeah. So,
yes.
So wow, that was an experience and a half. Or wow, that was an experience. Instead of wow, that was a lesson that knocked me on my feet or whatever, knocked me off my feet. But wow, that was an experience. And then you can go to what was the gift in there? What was the blessing? What was the gratitude?
Right.
You're right, because you can go, what was the benefit to you of that? Well, hang on a minute. I'm still just sitting in Shutterville. It's quite a harsh question you're asking me. Just give me a minute to compose myself.
Yeah.
But it is around that. Our relationship safe for me is there's a lot of shame and guilt that sits in that, and that is that lesson. My word, quotation marks in
the lesson, or the learning, or the shoulds, or the agendas of other people, even society, right? I think it's good that we've got so much more fluidity and acceptance around, if it doesn't work, then move on. Whereas, 20, 30 years ago, it was more difficult.
I think we, when I'm going to pivot back, because I know I said earlier about, stay till you've got your foundation
ducks in a row. Yeah. If
you are on death's door, I don't want you to stay.
No.
This is where you outsource your foundation to the police, to a family member who you trust, somebody, Moira, Debz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone who you trust, who knows, who's going to give you solid advice that's enough for you to wake up and help you in this transition.
Yeah.
So even though I did say stay, I definitely do not want anyone to stay in a relationship if it is unsafe mentally and physically.
Yeah.
If it's just beyond that. So I'm talking about you getting to the point where you actually can't breathe from whatever it is, whether it's suffocation in your own mind or actually true suffocation, whatever it is. But that's what I'm talking about. That is that there's a place to get your pillars, your foundation, but there's also a time to outsource that foundation and just have trust.
Yeah.
And there's that point that we all get to that in life where things just become so hard. It's just like, I just need to put my hand up. I don't know how. I'm treading water. My nose is but I just want to shut my eyes and just go below that treading water. We've all had that.
Absolutely. And I think you brought that up earlier, is about the self-worth, because when we have a sense of self-worth, we are worthy of reaching out and saying, hey, the nose is up to my water's up to my nose, and I need help.
Yeah.
That there's power in that, and that every one of us deserves that opportunity.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Right. And you could have had the same experience 30 times in the last 2 weeks. You could have had that, and that's okay, because you're still worthy of being safe.
Yes.
And whether you've had that 30 experiences in the last week, or whether you've had 2 experiences in the last 5 years, you're still worthy of being safe, which is your safe boundaries, not other people's safe boundaries. So it's you, it's your soul that is the key to your worth, all those things. It's yours. It's just yours.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I want to say, but it's just my head's like sitting in that space. So I think the key here is, our relationship safe for me?
Mm-hmm.
Only you know that.
That's right. And so that's why it's so important that if you need to, create some space and time just to check in. Put your hand over your heart. We all know that's Moira's favorite thing to do.
Yeah, and
hand
mine.
over your heart and take a few deep breaths. Remember my suggestion about that question about how does this make me feel about me? So this can be this situation, this environment, this person, this choice, this decision. How does this make me feel about me? Because it's the piece that I'm trying to help you get to is that even if you're going to go and do something that's maybe a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe it makes you feel a little anxious, it still needs to have some kind of vibe within you that says, yep, let's do this. You know,
and that's not the erratic. That's not the erratic. Yep, let's do this. Just want to say,
no,
that's
that's the deep sage wise part of you that goes, yes, that's it. It just says yes, and it feels like a love hug, like you're being wrapped by love, but you still may feel a little bit trepidatious about, oh, but what happens when I take that next step? But it's really to allow yourself time to check in with your inner guidance, right? You have to do that for you first in order to stand. But it's also in order to stand firmly on your own 2 feet and know, yes, this relationship's safe for me, but first of all, I feel safe in my own awareness of myself. Right?
So even though you made the decision today to stay, then 2 hours later and you make the decision to leave, that's okay. It's okay that you made the decision 2 hours earlier to stay. You can change your mind at any time, but I would absolutely say get professional help. Now, Moira and I are professional help. Maybe even it's my snorting and laughing and all the rest of it, but a professional help is just somebody who can hold that space, energy, and help you see,
to support you to see it,
see the light. I'm going to say, but we're not here to say stay or go. I wouldn't say to somebody stay or go. You have to make that decision, because I'm not going to be the one, to go, you need to leave, you need to go, you need to stay. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. But we will find out what's in your soul and show you that, and show you how to make those answers that are true to you, and being okay with your answer. And if you change your mind in 2 hours, it's still okay. And that's what we will show you how to do.
With compassion for yourself.
I was going to say, with no shame and guilt, and knowing that that's the right decision. It's an interesting one. So when I go, our relationship safe for me, what does the word safe mean to you, Moira?
Good question. So to me, safe means I'm allowed to just be me. I think safe means that I feel comfortable, at ease, because I'm a bit strange and have my own quirks. And
no, she's not really.
I really like purple. So, if the relationship's going to be safe for me, then somebody can't be saying, get all that purple out of this space.
And I really like gold and red as I sit and I look at my beautiful purple and gold, rose gold pen from Moira.
From me. But no, so safe it's about feeling comfortable. And because that's why I love that question so much. How does this make me feel about me? Well, it makes me feel comfortable, at ease. Sure, even in a relationship where you might have some crosswords, or didn't put the toothpaste cap on, or didn't put the laundry in in the hamper, or
and you go
you know?
from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
That's your PEMS.
And
That's all around your PEMS too.
Yeah. Yes, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, something just got a little bit chaotic there.
Frazzled, yeah.
So you can get frazzled, and you can get sharp words or things that you have to negotiate and discuss. But if the underlying piece is it's safe to be here, it's safe to be me, I expect people to show up and be who they are in my space. I mean, that's kind of how relationshiping in my realms works.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this thing about safe, that's when you start feeling like, oh, I have to watch how what kind of vibe are they giving off? Oh, I better watch how I speak, or I can't speak too loud, or I can't have the music on too loud, or oh, I can't even play that kind of music. Do you know what I mean? It's like that, or I better make sure that everything's lined up just so before that person comes in the door. That whole energy of walking on eggshells or feeling like there's an agenda, that's not feeling safe.
No, and so the word safe makes me go boring. I label safe as boring, and I'm like, take risks in life. But when I say take risks, I'm not saying jump off a mountain or jump out of a plane with no parachute.
Yeah,
that's not a risk. That's a risk.
It is a
risk. That's a stupid risk. But I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if you would like to jump out of a plane, there's safe things to do before you jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying.
Oh, and P.S. I've done that before, by the way. I have jumped out of a plane with a parachute on.
I did it with a tandem guy.
I did it too. I did it with a tandem too. Yeah.
I'll tell you my experience off ear. Because that's a different one. That's a freaky thing. But yeah. I'll tell you a little bit about my one off ear. We won't be doing that. but so when I say safe to me sounds boring.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the analogy of jumping out of a plane, that's just stupid if you jump out of a plane.
Yeah,
and
don't
take
you think
that risk
the word responsibility comes in here?
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Like...
yeah. So the word safe is not a boring word. It's not a mundane, because I say to people, take a risk. What's the worst could happen? And they go this, and I'm like, okay, is that the worst? And they're like, well, it actually doesn't really matter if that happened. Great. So
so go for it.
Yeah, definitely. But don't jump out of the plane with no parachute.
No parachute.
That's just dumb. Okay, I'm just going to call you dumb. But
and that's not safe, by the way, either.
Yeah, it's not safe. I don't know anyone who's jumped and landed safely. I don't even know if that's a thing. But so take risks. Absolutely take risks, but make sure those risks are, or ensure those risks are safe risks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to. Okay, I'm going to gamble this. Okay, you're going to lose your house. Is that a safe risk, or is that a safe or risky or what? Is that a wise move?
Right. Yeah, wisdom and responsibility come into this conversation, I think.
And I think that's the thing is, so everybody knows if they're better to be sitting in this situation or not. Like right now, as we talk, think of a decision that you're on the fence of making, everybody. Now, you can go through the process of decision making, but you in your heart already know if it's a left or a right.
Yep.
You know in your hearts, but you can do all the mind work to make that decision. And then down the track, you'll go, oh, I shouldn't have made that decision. Or down the track, oh, that was a great decision, or whatever. We already know. You already know whether you turn left or right, swipe left or swipe right. Whatever. What is that? Swipe left? Declines? I don't know. Anyway, but you already know. So is it safe for you to do that? You already know the answer.
Only you know. And that's why I said that earlier. It's about creating some space and time to just go, wait, I need to check in with this authority. Something that hand on your heart. Yeah. But Deb, you know that I've talked to before about this, about using your body as a pendulum.
Oh, Yes.
Yes. So this is, so if your head is saying, well, you don't know, you always make the wrong choices, and last time you tried to make this choice, la 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 la. Let's face it,
And that
all of our
story
heads
runs
do
a
that.
marathon that quickly that next thing you
Yeah.
know, you've run 42 Ks in your head.
Yeah.
No wonder you're exhausted. Yeah.
So if that kind of thing happens, you need to come back to the thing of, hey, wait a minute, I do know the answer, but maybe I need a tool to allow my body to guide me. And so with this idea of your body being a pendulum, your body will sway slightly forward for a yes and slightly backwards for a no. And in order to feel that and just get your felt sense of it, you can say,
now don't do that when you're standing on the edge of the plane deciding, do I do it or not?
you know,
okay, don't go going yes as I fall forward.
be on the ground, both be on the ground.
Or when you're driving at high speed, don't go,
don't do that.
If you'd like a copy of this, drop it in the comments, because Moira can send to you. But
I can send a PDF to you. But it's to practice it.
It's a trust.
You practice it by things that you know to be true. Like you might say, I can say, my name is Moira, and watch what my body does. And then I'll say, my name is Deb, and watch what my body does.
If your body fell forward, like fall forward, right? Like, it is. Maybe I was in another life.
No. But that is a lovely way to actually bypass the chattering mind. Like we're saying, it can go drive it crazy.
Well, funny you say that, because I meant to tell you, I mentor a group of people. We're doing a 12-month mentorship, and I emailed the people because they were talking about some stuff in intuition. And I said, I have this great little tool. It's your body's a pendulum. And they're like, what, Deborah, what are you talking about now? And I went, I'll email it to you. And they've all gone, oh my God, that's amazing. That's a great thing, because it just allows us to get out of, and it is. Hand on your heart. It allows you to get out of your head
out into of your head, so that you can get into your actual wisdom that's already there.
I know.
And it is your wisdom.
Absolutely. So our relationship safe for me, you already know the answer.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just are wise to shut down all that chaos, hand on your heart, breathe. And that's where Moira and I do come in and hold that energy and space and just show you that what's saying, what's the core going on down here for this.
And what do you need to make a change? Do you need to have a conversation? Do you need to set up your boundaries? Do you need to remember that you educate people how to treat you? These are all open-ended questions intended to help you just be the navigator and the chooser of your experience and feel good about it.
Well, I was thinking about this growing up, not me growing up, my daughter growing up. Our relationship is safe for me. And so we as parents want to protect our children from all the lessons or experiences, all the things that happened to us growing up. But we know, we say to people, well, here's your rope, run with it. If you hang yourself, then you're buggered. We've got to come back. And we do that. And so our past stories play such a vital role, because you can meet your daughter's new boyfriend or new female friend or something, and you can go, I don't like them. Right. I don't like them. I don't like what's going on. But you have to have trust with your children that they can make those decisions. And you're just teaching all the way through your world with your children. You're educating them on how to have that trust.
Yes.
Because you don't want to go, I don't like Annabelle, because Annabelle reminds me of my friend at school who's also called Annabelle.
Right.
And I remember her at 15, she did this, and this, and she cheated on a test and blamed me and da. So you then have attached your story that is so firm in your world onto that child, who then goes, but Annabelle's really lovely, Mum, and she's got this, and this, and she really helps me with this. And you're like, no, I don't like her. I don't like her energy.
I was thinking about the 4 agreements in here. Don't make assumptions.
Yes, we talk about those often. So our relationship's safe for me. It's up to you, but you've got to trust, ought to, it's wise to, that those around you are making the right decisions for them.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions.
Because
own your stuff, right?
Yeah, we can influence so many people, and especially as a parent, that's what we're doing. Don't run out on the road, you're going to get hit by a truck. well, there's no trucks on this road. I've never seen a truck on this road, so I don't believe you, Mum.
There wasn't that awareness, wasn't even a thing until you said it.
Yeah. Now I'm going to think about all the trucks and all the, but that's, don't make assumptions. But that's another one is, what's right for you. Your children, you must trust your children and those around you, your partners or not, if that's the right job for them or not.
Yeah.
But you've got to trust that they can make their own decisions in their way, and you can just guide them. But their body as a pendulum is an amazing tool.
It's a fabulous tool. And I love that you brought trust into this conversation too, because trust, it belongs with that safe. Right? It's to trust. I don't have to think about every scenario about how many trucks are coming or not, because I'm safe. My family's safe. Everything's safe. Everything's good. So, so I hope that this has helped our listeners kind of check in. Let's face it. Our relationship's safe for me. How's the relationship you with you first?
Yeah.
That's the fundamental piece.
We dropped that one at the very, very end of our
There's
podcast.
your last tip to take away with. How is your relationship you with you? How do you feel when you look in the mirror? Do you feel confident and worthy and unconditionally loving of yourself?
Yeah.
And then realize that all relationships ripple out from whatever that vibe is. Right there.
Yeah. What's the ripple from that?
Yes. So do you have any last tips before we go in and rate ourselves?
Before she asked me my number, I'm like,
we go in and rate ourselves.
No, I will just say, reach out. Reach out to Moira or myself.
Definitely.
And just know we do this daily.
Yes, we do.
We live 24/7 into our energy, and are there to hold space for pretty much not everyone. I'm not going to say everyone, because there's people like, I'm not going to hold energy and space for.
We can't.
Because their energy is their energy.
Yep.
But it is a trust. It is a trust. I would love to hear the tips that people have really got out of today. I'd love to get them to put those on the messages, because that would be really vital for us to see what it is.
How did it land? For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Nothing for me. Nothing for me to end this on.
All right, my dear.
In my heart.
I think it's gone into some really lovely places. I feel really good about it. But I do like that last piece, trust, and the remember all relationships start with the relationship you have with you.
With you. You starts with you. Yeah. She's going to ask me to rate myself.
I'm not going to ask herself to ask yourself.
I'm actually going to
2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm a 1.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to say I'm a 1 is because I've been writing names down here on the relationships I'm going to disestablish.
Okay.
And ones that I'm going to build into. So I've been thinking about what works for me and why am I putting this off?
Right. No, good for you.
So it's
good awareness.
A list of things to do, but it's been definitely. I would have thought this was going to take me to a 0. I was like, this will take me to a 0. No, it took me to a 1 and a list of things I've got to do now. So what number are you, Moira?
It took me to a 0. We already talked before this because I have gone through some discombobulating energy, and so I think that this conversation helped me settle the energy that I had already kind of put my feet into. So yeah, I'm at a 0, feeling pretty good.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about our pre-chat.
We always have pre-chat, and then
this is a beautiful. This is This is a beautiful one. Yeah,
so I've enjoyed this. So we hope that this served you. Like Deb said, if you have any questions or need some support or just some space held, please do reach out to us on Facebook or LinkedIn or message us directly, privately. We're here for you, and we're here to help people become deliciously motivated with their mindset.
Absolutely.
All right, dear Deb, thanks for an awesome conversation. Thank you, listeners.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Moira.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye.